everybody, and welcome to a new English lesson. Today's lesson is going to be about poetry. So what is poetry? Poetry, it's poems in general as a form of literature. And we have to ask ourselves, what does it mean, a poem? So a poem here is a piece of writing in which the words are arranged in separate lines, often ending in rhyme, and are chosen for their sound and for the images and ideas they suggest. Let's put it in an example. Look here. The poet recited some of her recent poems. The poet recited some of her recent poems. So when you are reading the poem, you can recite it. Okay? I need you to remember this word, to recite your poem. Okay? A rhyme scheme. It's the pattern of rhyming lines in a poem. It's usually referred to by using letters to indicate which lines rhyme. For example, A, B, A, B. It indicates a four-line stanza in which the first and third lines rhyme and do the second and fourth. Okay, we have here an example. Look here. Bid me to weep, and I will weep, while I have eyes to see, and having none, yet I will keep a heart to weep for thee. So if you notice here, we have the first line and the third one, they rhyme together. And the second one and the fourth one, they rhyme together. So we can say here that this one is A, okay, and this one is B, because they are different. But this one is again A, because it's the same, like weep, keep, same ending, so they rhyme. And here we have C and we have the. It also rhymes with the second one, so it would be also what? B. Okay? Wonderful. Let's go to the next slide. Now we're going to talk about a simile and a metaphor. Let's see what is a simile and what is a metaphor. Two of the most famous methods that work very well are similes and metaphors. Both of them are widely used by writers to create mental images for their readers and make their texts more lively and interesting. Look here, when you use a simile, you say that something is like or as something else. But when you use the word metaphor, it's as it is. When you paint a picture by saying that something is something else. This is, we call it what? A metaphor. So let's see some examples. You are as skinny as a rail. You are a mountain. So this one, yes, it's a simile. Excellent. Why? Because it has as. And this one, it's a metaphor because you are a mountain. It's giving a feature of a mountain or the description of a mountain to a person. So we call this what? Yes, it's a metaphor. Excellent. Let's go to personification. Personification, giving a human trait to something non-human. When I say the leaves danced on the wind, the leaves can dance? I don't think so. So dancing is a feature of humans. So we give the leaves a human feature. That's why we call it a personification. The angry soar was visible. You see here, angry soar. So angry, can we describe it like this? So we say here that the soar is a kind of what? A person that you can see, which was visible. And was angry, of course. My heart was competing with my head. Compete, guys, okay? It means that the heart was running so fast, right? And compete. Can the heart compete? Of course, people can compete. That's why this is a personification giving what? A feature of humans to the heart. Okay, great. Now let's start our poem today. I was a skinny tomboy kid, okay, by Alma Louise Valneva. I was a skinny tomboy kid. The summary of it, that Alma Valneva poem, I was a skinny tomboy kid, the speaker describes how she acted when she was young, when she wandered around her neighborhood and lived from roof to roof. She tells how she biked to the ocean dressed as a boy, went fishing and sold her catches. She didn't want to grow up and be a woman because she associated it with helplessness. At the time, she didn't see the inner strength her mother had. At the end of the poem, she notes that even to this day, she still sometimes wakes up in the tense state of mind she had then. Okay, so when we are talking about the meanings, you have here the word clenched. And the clenched, it means held something tightly. Let's see the background. Although the word tomboy was originally defined as a rude or noisy boy, it grew to be a label for a girl whose behavior and appearance were not considered to be traditionally feminine. In this poem, the speaker relates her experiences growing up in San Francisco, California as a self-described tomboy. Let's see, what did she say? I was a skinny tomboy kid who walked down the streets with my fists clenched into tight balls. So it means that she used to hold the tight balls, okay, with her fists, okay? So you have here clenched means held something tightly. I knew all the roofs and backyards fences. I liked traveling the way, sometimes not touching the sidewalks. For blocks and blocks it made me feel victorious somehow. Over the streets, I liked to fly from roof to roof, the gravel falling away beneath my feet. I liked. So let's see here, guys, some of the vocabulary which are important for you. You have here a question. What does the speaker describe? Of course, the speaker here describes how she acted when she was young. Okay? One of the vocabulary words is victorious, which means having won a victory. Okay? This is, I was victorious in yesterday's match. Okay? Or we were victorious. Fine. I liked the edge of most. Not making it and the freedom of riding my bike to the ocean and smelling it long before I could see it. And I traveled disguised as a boy, I thought, in an old army jacket carrying my fishing tackle to the piers and bombing bait and catching crabs sometimes and selling them to some Chinese guys. So look here, guys, you have the word disguise, having changed one's appearance in order to conceal one's identity. When you go to a disguising party, okay, you make yourself a clown. This is, we call it disguise, okay? Also, the fishing tackle is the equipment used by the fishermen when they go for fishing. See here, this is what, guys, this is the piers. It's a structure built on posts extending from land out over the water. This is what? Piers. And here we have the bait, which is the food placed on the hook, okay, when you go to catch the fish. And the hook, you put the bait, okay, so you are going to trap the fish in order to catch it. And I'd give the fish away. I didn't like fish. I just liked to fish and vowed to never grow up, to be a woman and be helpless like my mother. But then I didn't realize the kind of guts it often took for her to just keep standing where she was. So you have here the word vowed. When she said, I just like to fish, and I vowed to never grow up, like I promised myself to never grow up. Okay, she likes to do her hobby, which is fishing, but she doesn't like to eat fish. Okay, helpless, having no ability to take care of or protect. She's talking about her who? Her mother. She was helpless. She's not doing anything, okay, to protect herself or protect others. She's helpless. Guts. It's the courage and determination. When you say, but then I didn't realize the kind of guts it often took for her to just keep standing. It means that the mother, although she was helpless, but she has the guts, she has the courage and determination to keep standing where she was. I grew like a thin, stubborn weed, watering myself whatever way I could, believing in my own myth, transforming my reality and creating a legendary self. Every once in a while, late at night, in the deep darkness of my sleep, I wake with a tenseness in my arms, and I follow it from my elbow to my wrist, and realize My fists are tightly clenched and the streets come grinning and I forget whom I'm protecting and I coil up in a self-mothering fashion and tell myself it's okay. So as you see here, I grow like a thin, stubborn weed. She's very determined, like the weed, guys, and she waters herself, okay, whatever way I could. Believing in my own myth, she believes in herself. She has trust in herself. And tense here, when she's saying, with tenseness in my arms, and I follow it from my elbow to my wrist. It means, guys, she has a problem in her muscles when you sleep, okay, and you wake up suddenly and find that you have tenseness in your muscle. It's a state or condition of being tense. And at the end here, she's saying what? It's okay. She's trying to comfort herself after all what she is going through from her own point of view. Let's see here, guys, the figurative language in our poem. We have the metaphor, I like to fly from roof to roof. Actually here, when she says, I like to fly from roof to roof, it's a metaphor. Why? Because she described herself as if she is what? A plane, okay? Or she is a bird, okay? So this is a metaphor. When we go to, I like to fly from roof to roof, okay? It's also a repetition here, which is the metaphor. The simile, I grow like a thin, stubborn weed. Okay, she is like the weed. Oh, she's describing herself as if she is what? Weed. And this is, we call it simile because she is using like here. Also, helpless like my mother, describing herself, guys, as her mother, using like. So it's a simile. The streets come grinning, smiling broadly to her. Can the streets smile broadly? Of course no, so this is what? A personification. What is the mood and the tune of our poem? So we say here, I think that the mood and the tune, I was a skinny tomboy kid, is lonely. Because whatever she's doing, she's alone. And she's afraid what the world would think of her comes out of shell. What's the theme of this poem? So we say the theme is to embrace the differences because she is different from everyone else. She is also trying to express that the world wouldn't be interesting if everyone was the same. Like she want to say that I'm different and you're different. We are all different from each other, okay? And if we are the same, this is not gonna be interesting. Okay. Look here with me. I have a question. What is the speaker's most likely purpose in I was a skinny tomboy kid? To describe what she did and felt as a child, to explain why she did what she did as a child, to point out that people aren't always what they seem, to warn others about the dangers of being alone on the streets. I need you to take your time to think of the answer. Yes? You're right. To describe what she did and felt as a child. Excellent. Okay, another question. How did the speaker of I was a skinny tomboy kid like to move around outside? Very quietly, without being seen, as quickly as possible, without touching the ground. Yes, we said it. It's, yeah, without touching the ground. Excellent. Wonderful. What conclusions can be drawn about the speaker of I was a skinny tomboy kid when she was a child? Choose 3 options. Was she brave or she was brave? She never slept well. She had a kind heart. She lived near the sea. Okay. She was an only child. She wanted to be a boy. So, which one? And also we have she did some dangerous things. So the first one is she was brave. Excellent. The second one, she lived near the sea. Right. And the last one, she did some dangerous things. Excellent, guys. Really, I'd like to thank you all for watching this video. I wish you watch it more than one time and to practice it. I need you to understand and to know the differences between a simile, personification, and metaphor. It would be a pleasure also if I can see some of your writings You are the poets of the future. Thank you so much, guys, and see you. Bye.